The following marketing information and discussion is provided for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as professional guidance or consultancy. You should find an agency for that. eMarketer is a digital marketing agency, so feel free to hire us. But otherwise, just enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, welcome to The Buyer's Journey by eMarketer, a discussion-based podcast on the ever-changing marketing landscape. I'm Matthew McGroarty, the social media content producer here at eMarketer.
And I'm Josh Lyons, the digital marketing coordinator here at eMarketer.
So today is Friday, and on Friday we talk about the advocacy stage of the buyer's journey. And on the advocacy stage of the buyer's journey, that is when a customer or a former customer, a current customer, or maybe even someone who hasn't heard of you, but has heard of you from word of mouth from a coworker or a friend or something like that, is advocating for your brand. And that can be posting reviews on social media, that can be word of mouth, somebody who has the product telling your friends or family about it, and it can also be things like one of those friends or family members telling another one of their friends or family member, so-and-so had this and it was great, etc., etc. So all this week, we've had a bit of a short week, so we've been going a little out of order, but today, it is Friday, we're talking about the advocacy stage, we got it, and we are talking about eMarketer reducing US time spent estimates for Facebook and Snapchat. So average daily time spent on the platform by US adult users fell 3 minutes in 2018, and that will remain unchanged this year, per the latest eMarketer forecast on US time spent with media. In fact, eMarketer reduced their forecast for Facebook compared with previous figures released in Q3 2018. This year, US adult Facebook users will spend an average of 38 minutes per day on the platform on all devices, down 2 minutes from eMarketer's previous forecast, and in 2020, average daily time will drop 37 minutes. Here's a quote. Facebook's continued loss of younger adult users, along with its focus on downranking clickbait posts and videos in favor of those that create, quote, time well spent, resulted in less daily time spent on the platform in 2018 than we had previously expected, eMarketer principal analyst Deborah Aho-Williamson said. Less time spent on Facebook translates into fewer chances for marketers to reach their network's users. Before we get to Snapchat, let's talk about that. Mark Zuckerberg, as we've talked about in the past, and as we've seen Facebook change when we talk about algorithm changes, which we talked about last week, and then we talked about way back in January 2018 when they first did their algorithm change. In 2018, they changed it so that branded post pages, like page posts and things like that, were less likely to be seen organically by people, which basically meant you had to pay to play more. And now they recently changed it so your posts from close friends, based on their algorithm and how they decide that, will push those posts to the top of your feed so you see them first. And then as you go down, obviously you have the same likelihood of seeing a post by a page or something as you did prior. Mark Zuckerberg argues that time well spent is better for Facebook, in part probably because if you are going on Facebook and you're not seeing spam, you're not seeing any of the bad things we talked about them removing a couple days ago on the podcast, and you're actually seeing posts and interactions from friends you actually care about, you're more likely to return to the platform later and spend time on it. However, I think eMarketer points out a great point, which is, at the end of the day, that will still reduce the amount of time spent on the platform because clickbait articles and clickbait videos do make people watch more. And therefore, marketers are going to have less of an opportunity to see and reach network users. I think all of that's very fair. Josh, what do you think?
You just reminded me, because I know now on iPhones you can check your screen time for certain apps. And I realized that in the article it mentioned how Facebook's continued loss of younger adult users, it's all that stuff. How it's more of my demographic, your demographic, than it is on like our parents in terms of time spent on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, my mom goes on Facebook all the time. I don't go on it very often, and then I know people who are younger than me that don't use it at all.
So I'm trying to pull up.
Go for it. You look for your screen time. One of the things, and I can imagine Len, who's not on the podcast today, but he will be back on Monday. I can hear him in my head basically going, screen time is, and how long somebody's on site is incredibly important. And Len is completely correct. I mean, time on site and time on the platform means more chances to see ads, more people engaging and using your platform. I am very interested in seeing how the Facebook redesign that they're adding and how the algorithm change will influence people's willingness to keep going on the platforms. I think eMarketer and Len, when they say less time spent means less marketers, 100% true. There's basically no way to argue with that. But I am interested in seeing if that will end up being detrimental, because let's be honest, Facebook has basically the amount of users it's going to have. You can only get so many people, so now you need to maximize that time. But I think Mark Zuckerberg has a point in trying to make that time better. In fact, I think they have a responsibility to make that time better, in quotes, however you want to define that. But obviously that does influence marketing budgets, but I definitely want to preference it again. Facebook is an incredibly powerful tool for marketers, so even if this time spent is dropping by 3 minutes, it's still where tons of your audience are. There's no, it is one of the best social platforms for advertising because people are on it, they're on it for so long, and it hits so many target audiences that you're trying to hit. Josh, did you find your screen time?
I did, and it's shockingly amazing.
Go for it. I want to see how many hours have you spent on Twitter, Josh?
Oh God. Well, first, so I could do the last 7 days. It doesn't let me go any farther than 7 days, but it's actually very, very accurate. So in the last 7 days, I spent an average of 34 minutes a day on Facebook, which is only 4 minutes less than the current average of 38 minutes per day for our demographic, which is incredible. For Instagram, I spent on average 40 minutes a day, where the average on this eMarketer chart, I believe, says 29. Mm-hmm. So a little over, but I think that's fine. And if we want to do it for fun, because you want to know,
I do want to know.
Do you want to take a guess on how many hours a day I spend on
so
Twitter?
It is hours, it's not minutes.
It can go as hours and minutes. It's the average time.
Don't tell me it. Just
per day.
Is it average time per day? Is it hours or is it minutes? Just tell me that and then I'll make my guess.
It's hours. So how many total 3 hours in 1 week?
In 1 week?
Yeah. So not average.
30.
What is the total?
30. Is it 30? You're getting real quiet. Is it like 40? Am I warm?
See, now
We're putting Josh on blast today.
So here's the thing. It was a holiday.
Is it like 60?
It was a holiday.
I need to know this number.
It was a holiday. I wasn't on my phone as much because I was on the beach and I was enjoying my vacation.
See, you're padding this like it's going to be lower than 30, but I think it's actually going to be 30, and you're going to imply that you use it like 50. So I really, go ahead.
It's 28 hours.
Oh my God.
In the week.
I was so close.
And again, that's with
the holiday.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday being the lowest of all three.
So we're talking
we're usually on the weekends. I'm nonstop on Twitter.
How do I do screen time? I'm very curious.
Go to.
Do I just type in screen time?
No. Go to settings.
Go to
and
settings.
Then it should be after. It should be under Do Not Disturb. So there's notifications, sounds.
Screen time. Okay, so.
And then you can click your phone. You can click last 7 days. And it'll tell you average per day, and then average per day, and then total hours per platform in that week.
So when it says most used, that's
the full week,
okay,
the total amount of hours.
So first of all, 28 hours. I was pretty correct on 30. I bet it's closer to like 35 to 40 a week,
Yeah.
isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, Josh does run a Twitter account alongside his podcast mates, and also Josh just likes being on Twitter, so I can't blame him.
What was your Facebook time? What was
My Facebook time is like 10 minutes, 11 minutes a week. My Twitter time is 5 hours and 6 minutes for the week. I also was not on my phone that much because I was...
So we'll say you were at like probably like 10,
I could
12 a week?
I could see because Twitter's my main platform, I could see it being like 10. Google Maps, almost 15 hours.
Well, you were
I was
also
driving a lot.
driving.
I know,
Yeah.
I couldn't resist. And then obviously for messages, it was like 2 hours and 25 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Instagram was
I
like
wish we could look at this
21
on
minutes.
a week that wasn't the holiday week, because you'd get a real accurate description. But I still think in general it shows that
It's funny.
it's a very...
Well,
Is it like sad?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question, Josh. All right, folks, we're gonna move on to the rest of the topic. So this eMarketer report also mentions Snapchat. They said that Snapchat basically has been plateauing. So instead of growing as they had earlier projected, time spent among users fell slightly last year because of lingering fallout from the app's failed redesign and competition from Instagram. eMarketer now expects time spent on Snapchat's adult users to remain at 26 minutes per day through 2021. The previous forecast projected 28 minutes per day in 2019. I am very interested in seeing in how the changes and the updates that Snapchat made recently in regards to adding games to their platforms and then other things like that will influence time spent. To be fair, eMarketer's pointing out adult users are going to be plateauing. However, I would not be shocked if because of the games and things like that, some of the younger users probably will increase. That's just my guess offhand. And then in addition, Instagram, however, will have time spent increase by 1 minute every year through 2021. An average daily time on Facebook's own platform will reach 27 minutes this year among U.S. adult users. Clearly, I was at about 10 minutes, so I'm not quite there. But to be fair,
for Snapchat,
this is for Instagram.
Snapchat, I was at 39.
So you're above average for adult
And
users.
then Snapchat was an hour and 20.
Snapchat was an hour. You're way above.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. To be fair though, these are averages, so like there's gonna be people like Josh who use it for like an hour and a half, and there's gonna be people who maybe use it for 2 minutes, and then that kind of evens in a certain way. One thing that they pointed out was that stories, influencer content, and video all contribute to engagement and a slow and steady tick up for Instagram, which I think in general makes sense. I mean, Instagram's really popular and people like going on it a lot. So that's all for today's episode of The Buyer's Journey. Check us out on Comexis.com, YouTube, and anywhere you get your podcasts, and follow us on Twitter at buyers_journey. Thanks for listening.